Hey guys, welcome back to T-Bones Tech. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to record 24 frames per second video on the brand new Canon EOS 90D. So about 2 months ago when this camera first came out, Canon actually crippled it by not allowing us to film 1080p video or 4K video at 24 frames per second for no apparent reason. And people were not happy about that at all. But after tons of backlash, Canon actually did a 180 on that decision, and they now added a software update which now allows us to film 24 frames per second video at 1080p and at 4K. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys quickly how you can do that. So first we need a fully charged battery for our camera and then an SD card, and then of course we're also going to need a computer. Okay, so once you have all that, the next step is going to be to pull up Canon's website, and I will leave a link in the description down below where you can download the software directly from them. So right here I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to download the Mac version. I'm just going to agree to the terms of service, and then I'm going to hit download. Once you have the software downloaded, we're just going to go to wherever our downloads is, and we are going to open it up, and then we're going to look for this right here, and it's going to be our software. So we're going to look for the .fir, and that's going to be our firmware for this camera. Then we are going to take our SD card here, and we're just going to plug it into our computer. So these are going to be our options for recording video before the update. Okay, so now we're going to put our camera in menu mode just like this, and now we're going to go back to the laptop. Okay, so back on our computer here, we're just going to open up our SD card, and we are going to see this DCIM and then our other miscellaneous folder here. And we're just going to drag the software onto this part of the SD card just like this, and it's going to transfer over. It just to take a couple seconds, and it's transferred over just like that. Now we're going to eject our SD card, and then we're just going to be able to pull it right out of the computer. Make sure to eject it, that way we don't have any issues with corrupting our firmware. So then with the SD card, we're just going to plug it straight into our camera. Once we have the SD card inserted in the camera, we're going to, again, make sure it is in program mode, just like this. And we're going to make sure it is not in video mode. We're just going to make sure it's ticked all the way up here to the little white section, which is going to be our photography mode. And then we're going to go into the menu, just like this. We're going to go over to the wrench, and then all the way over to the 5th section of the wrench. And then over here on the 5th section of the wrench, we can go over here and we can see our firmware. So we're going to press on that. It's going to say our current firmware version is going to be 1.0.0, and then it asks us if we want to update the firmware. So we're going to use the dial pad, and we're going to tick over here and hit OK with the select button, just like this. Then it's going to load up the software just like this, and it's going to take a couple seconds. I'm actually going to cut this because it usually takes about 30 seconds. So once the camera is loaded, it's going to pull up this screen, and it's going to start the firmware update program. Again, we're only going to use the dial pad here. We are not going to use the touchscreen, and we're just going to hit select just like this. And then we're going to toggle over again using the dial pad, and we're going to press OK. And here we can see we are updating from 1.0.0 to 1.1.1. So now we're going to hit OK with the select button right here, and then it's going to do its magic. And now the reason we used a fully charged battery is because we don't want the camera turning off halfway through. That potentially could corrupt the file and potentially even mess up the camera, and then we have to go ahead and send it out to Canon to be fixed. So this is going to take probably about 5 minutes, and I'll get back to you when we have this update finished. As soon as our progress bar reaches 100%, it's going to pull up this screen right here, which is that our update is complete and it was successful. And we're just going to, again, use the dial pad here and hit OK, just like this. And now our camera is updated to the newest version. Here we can see again 1.1.1. And if we go over and switch this camera back to video mode, and we hit menu, and then here in the menu you can see our different camera shooting settings, and we're going to open this up, and here we can see we have 2 extra options now. Here we can see we have 4K at 24 frames per second as an option, and then over here we can see 1080p at 24 frames per second. So now our camera is fully updated, and we can record 4K video and 1080p video at 24 frames per second. To actually record the video now, all you have to do is select either one, just like this here in the menu. And now, as you guys can see, we are recording 4K at 24 frames per second. And again, if you want to switch that even easier, you just hit the Q right here, and then you can change it here at the bottom. Super easy and super simple. But that's all I got for you guys in this quick video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all in the next one.